Namaskar. Welcome to Honest Astrologer YouTube channel, and today I'm going to talk about Shani in the fifth house. I call this the love and losses placement. Why? We'll find out. I use a quotation to describe this placement, and it comes from the book named Freak. It says, sadly enough, the most painful goodbyes are the ones that are left unsaid and never explained. Now, this is a tough placement to have because it has multiple layers of problem. The fifth house is represented by playful, fiery sign of Leo, which is ruled by Sun, and God knows Shani doesn't like to be here. He's absolutely out of his element. Fifth is the house of love relationship, stomach, creativity, children. All things Shani is not really comfortable with. So the challenges are high, and even the most balanced individuals find it very hard to handle. Shani in the fifth often gives health related challenges, particularly related to the stomach. Acidity and constipation are common problems with this placement, so one should go easy on their stomach and should bring Shani discipline to their diet. A lot of fruits and vegetables is always a good idea. However, stomach issues are the smaller problem. There are way bigger complications that await the native in his life. One thing which I have often seen in the native life is a tragic love story. I've seen these natives fall in love and then experience excruciating pain. It is not just a romantic breakup that happens, but it is a soul scarring story. A love marriage followed by divorce is often a frequent occurrence with this placement. Love is usually associated with sadness in this case. And remember, you always seek approval of the house of Shani. You always want to make the house of Shani relation happy. You are willing to sell your soul to make the house of Shani happy. Now, Shani's approval seeking brings them to a point where they would do anything for love, only to be disappointed later. A woman who jumps into bed with her lover seeking his approval may see him trying to back out when she gets pregnant. The guy who rushes to get married seeking approval of his sweetheart often ends up regretting the hasty marriage and then has to battle the same sweetheart in a bitter divorce case. Then we come to the third problem with this. The Shani delay and denial is carried forward to the children, especially the first child. Childbirth is either delayed or is troublesome. The trouble with this placement is that second stage approval seeking starts with the birth of first child. Now this child becomes the center of the native's existence. Everything is about my child. How would this impact my child? What would my child think about this? Would this benefit my child? That's all that goes into their mind. I have often seen fathers decide their job changes and transfers not according to their career prospects, but according to availability of good schools for their child. These parents would go to ridiculous lengths trying to do the best for their children. However, as usual, they don't get the desired love and approval that they seek from the child. And I would like to add one thing here. That is not the child's fault. It is your own karma. Second thing, parents owe love by nature's default to their children. Children don't owe anything to the parents. So be okay with it. Now, one should not try to spoil the child seeking their approval all the time. But on the other hand, they shouldn't go, don't spare the rod, spoil the child. Remember, Shani's key are justice and balance. In this case, it is very necessary, otherwise, they can end up spoiling the child's psyche or even her future. So, ensure that you use justice and balance for your child. You should love the child, but show them tough love whenever required. Don't be a doormat, but don't be a dictator either. Do justice to the child, show balance, and you will save the relationship in the long run. Last thing, creative expression is another area where Shani puts his barriers. These people find it hard to be creative and they often have to try multiple times before they find their calling. They like to be admired for their creativity and are often denied creative expression, at least in the first half of their life. It is usually in their mid 30s or early 40s that, with time and effort, Shani grants them the ability to express themselves after trying hard. And their creativity is less of inspiration type and more of the perspiration type. But hard work and persistence would eventually bring them to a point where they would eventually be at ease and would be able to express themselves creatively. Finally, ultimately, doing justice to their talents. Jai Shanidev.